The crash, dark, cold, silent. Emma shivered, hugging herself as rain lashed against the car roof. And in that moment of eerie stillness, her mind drifted backward, a flash of memory slicing through the darkness. She remembered last month, the cheerful family picnic by the river, sunlight sparkling off the water, Sophie laughing as she ran through the tall grass, the smell of fresh sandwiches and sunscreen mingling in the warm air. David had teased her for packing too many snacks, and Lily had insisted on bringing her sketchbook, doodling tiny, perfect stars in the margins. They had been so careless with happiness, so unafraid. Emma could still feel the warmth of that day, the laughter ringing in her ears, a melody of safety and joy that now seemed impossibly distant. And then the memory shattered. The road beneath the car now twisted, slick and unknown, as though the world itself had turned against them. The rain smacked the windshield, each drop a cold hand, dragging her back into reality. Rain hammered the windshield, blurring the headlights into molten streaks of yellow and white. The winding country road seemed endless, curling through a forest of skeletal trees whose branches scraped against the car like fingernails on glass. Inside, the hum of the engine was the only companion to the nervous chatter of three friends, Emma, David, and Lily. "You're going too fast," Emma warned, clutching the door handle. Her knuckles were white, fingers trembling. "I've driven worse," David replied, voice tight. He glanced at the rearview mirror. The fog outside was thickening, swallowing the road behind them. Lily, silent in the passenger seat, stared out at the rain-slicked forest. Her knuckles drummed against her knees, a rhythmic staccato that seemed to echo the rapid beat of Emma's heart. Then the sharp screech of tires. Screech. The car skidded violently across the slick tarmac. Rain splattered the windshield like 1,000 tiny hammers. "Hold on," David shouted, twisting the wheel. Crash. Metal crumpled. Glass shattered. The world became chaos. Rain, metal, and screams fused into a single, impossible sound. Emma was thrown against the dashboard. Lily's cry was cut short, swallowed by the metallic screech of bending steel. David grunted as the seatbelt bit into his chest, pain radiating down his arms. When the world stilled, silence pressed against them, heavy and suffocating. Rain continued its relentless assault on the twisted wreck, tapping and drumming. But inside, the car was sepulchral, still, dark and cold. Emma blinked through the blood trickling down her temple. "Are we alive?" she whispered. Lily moaned, shifting painfully. "I think so, but my leg." Her voice cracked. Panic laced her words. David forced the door open. The rain soaked him instantly, plastering hair to his forehead. Mud sucked at his boots as he helped Emma out. The forest stretched around them, a tenebrous sea of shadows and swaying branches. The fog made it impossible to see the road, only a white void beneath the trees. "Stay close," he said, though his own voice trembled. As they trudged through the mud, strange sounds echoed around them, tapped like footsteps following, though no one was there. Emma froze. "Did you hear that? It's just the wind," David insisted. Yet even he glanced over his shoulder. Lily whimpered, clutching her leg. I saw someone, a figure standing by the tree, watching us. Emma's heart thudded painfully in her chest. It's just our imagination, where we're in shock. Hours seemed to pass, the forest a living entity, twisting and breathing around them. Then, in a clearing, a faint light appeared, flickering, moving. Hope surged. Emma ran, heart hammering, lungs burning. Mud clung to her boots. Rain plastered her hair to her face. And in that endless, chaotic moment, another memory surged forward. A brief flash from her childhood. She remembered running through her grandmother's orchard, laughing, the crisp autumn air biting at her cheeks. She had tripped over a root and fallen into a pile of leaves. Safe in the knowledge her grandmother was watching, always keeping her from harm. The memory was warm, vivid, and brief, and now it mocked her. Here, in this forest, there was no safety, no guiding hand, no warm voice, only shadows that twisted like gnarled fingers and whispers that seemed to come from inside her skull. They ran, but when they reached it, there was nothing, only a dilapidated cabin, abandoned, splintered wood dripping with rain. Creak, bang. Something moved inside, just at the edge of perception. A shadow that vanished when looked at directly. David gripped Emma's arm. We should stay together. Stay calm. A whisper rose from the darkness. You shouldn't have come. They froze. Their breaths puffed out in ghostly clouds. Panic clawed at their throats. The forest around them seemed to lean closer, branches scraping against the cabin like skeletal fingers. Rain hammering louder. Bang! A shutter fell from the side, rattling violently. Emma stumbled back. We need to get out of here now. They fled blindly, slipping through mud, rain stinging their eyes. And then the clearing, the road, the car, as if no time had passed, as if they had walked in circles through a waking nightmare. The car sat intact, rain dripping from its hood, but inside they found nothing but empty seats. No blood, no twisted metal, no sign of the crash they had just survived. Lily's voice quavered. What just happened? David shook his head, dread clawing at his chest. I don't know. Did we dream it? Emma pressed a trembling hand to her temple. She wanted to speak, but another memory forced itself into her mind. The picnic by the river, Sophie's laughter echoing in the sunshine, her grandmother's orchard, the warm autumn air. For a fleeting moment, she swore she could smell grass, hear laughter, feel the safety of arms ready to catch her if she fell. But then the warmth soured. The orchard leaves curled black. The laughter twisted into screams. The river ran dark with rain. The safe memories dissolved into shadows that pressed closer, suffocating her. Emma's breath caught. We never left, she whispered, voice breaking. And then, from the trees, the whisper returned, low and insidious. You never left, dark, cold, silent.